back to him and saying that he was classless. What a classless move that he actually done, saying this when somebody gave him the opportunity, a team that gave him the opportunity to kind of shine and show his talents on a national level, and to kind of say something like that is kind of a slap to the face. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to go ahead and talk about two different topics. First topic is going to be, is Ceedee Lamb a shoo-in for this coming 2020 NFL Draft? Number two is, there was a tweet that was given out by our former safety, Tyrann Mathieu, tweeted at DJ Humphries. It's just something small that kind of irked me a little bit. We're going to go ahead and talk about both of those topics here shortly. Let's go ahead and get into it. For the first topic here, there's many sources out there saying that because the situation going on with, re-signing DJ Humphries as our left tackle for the future, the fact of the matter is Ceedee Lamb going to be a shoe-in from here on out, going to be like the overall 8th round pick? Like, is it pretty much set in stone? Now, obviously, my opinion is going to say there's never anything set in stone with the NFL Draft. It really depends on what happens in the first 7 teams and what they decide to do. If there's a trade that, comes in, if somebody thinks that Ceedee Lamb is, the end-all, be-all, in the top, anything plus, and decides to trade back, anything could possibly happen. So I don't think anything is set in stone. And that is 100% real here. Now, I do feel like it gives an advantage for Ceedee Lamb to get picked up by the Arizona Cardinals because they do got their left tackle of the future in DJ Humphries. Now, for example, if we lost DJ Humphries, there was a lot more room, a lot more talk going around that the Arizona Cardinals could possibly get one of the top offensive linemen, Andrew Thomas or Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. There was definitely all that speculation going out. There's just so much things that are going on, and I really do feel like with this signing from the Arizona Cardinals that the Ceedee Lamb situation is just that much closer to becoming reality, becoming that much closer for Ceedee Lamb to finally get reunited with Kyler Murray, being that they came from Oklahoma and all. Now, there's also stuff out there saying that Kyler Murray is all in board with the Arizona Cardinals getting Ceedee Lamb this coming NFL Draft. I've heard some things from Steve Keim. I heard some things from sources going around that Kyler Murray is really, really pushing for Ceedee Lamb to get picked up 8th overall to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is really intriguing to me. Definitely really intriguing to me, because the fact of the matter is the relationship that they have between with one another is it goes back to college, and it's definitely something where to see them get reunited again and have that explosion amongst each other would be dominant. Now, Ceedee Lamb is compared to NFL star DeAndre Hopkins. Now, how awesome would it be to have a DeAndre Hopkins in the Arizona Cardinals? That would be so fantastic. I would love that very much, especially the connection with Kyler Murray. I would be all on board with that. Now, we also got to take into consideration that, yes, we do have Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Legend is coming back one more year, but who knows what's going to happen from here on out. And I understand that we have Akeem Butler, we have Andy Isabella, and we also do have Keyshawn Johnson. Now, it's just the truth of the matter is if we get that a wide receiver 8th overall pick, you can pretty much solidify him as a starter. Next year or the year after that, Larry Fitzgerald will eventually decide to move on from the Arizona Cardinals and no longer, get that whole grind going on right now. So it just puts more of a emphasis on we need to get a number 1 wide receiver in to our organization, because I do feel like Christian Kirk is going to be a solid number 2 wide receiver, but I just do not see him as a number 1. I feel like he had plenty of time already to go ahead and solidify himself as a number 1 wide receiver, and so far he has had a pretty awesome breakout game against Tampa Bay when he had 3 touchdowns, but the consistency isn't there. The physicality isn't there when it comes to being a number 1 reliable hands, connection with your quarterback type of wide receiver. And I feel like that with Ceedee Lamb. So if Ceedee Lamb gets picked up that would be something to really, really watch. And I know that will get a lot of national people's attention. So did the DJ Humphries signing just pretty much put Ceedee Lamb in our laps? I honestly do feel like more than not, the DJ Humphrey signings definitely gave us that boost of possibly getting a wide receiver in the first round. Now, a lot of you might say, why would we double down on wide receivers? Have 3 or 4 wide receivers that we picked last year in the NFL draft. Like, that makes no sense. But, I mean, did it really make sense for the Arizona Cardinals to go back-to-back with quarterbacks? I mean, did it work out? Yes, it absolutely did work out, but it didn't make sense to do something like that. For grabbing Josh Rosen and then back-to-back years getting Kyler Murray, that makes no sense. So it just kind of proves the mentality of Steve Keim, in his opinion, getting the best person available, best player available to make the team better. And with Ceedee Lamb, I feel like that can definitely be accomplished. Now, switching over topics, guys, there was a tweet that came out from Honey Badger, the guy that used to be our safety, the guy that everybody loved, the guy that everybody thought that he was going to be the face of the organization when Larry Fitzgerald decides to retire. Now, we all know that it was a terrible breakup. It was an ugly dispute with a contract situation. Bottom line, it comes down to Tyrann Mathieu, when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, could not stay healthy for the life of him. It's a terrible thing. It's not his fault. I get it. But the contract that he signed, there was a option for the Arizona Cardinals to take it out. To take it out if the injuries just pretty much piled up. And that is something that the Arizona Cardinals ended up doing. They retracted his contract that he ended up signing, but was still willing to pay him more than the Texans were offering him at that moment. Now, I do feel like Tyrann Mathieu thought that was pretty much a slap to the face at that point, so he didn't really want to negotiate with the Arizona Cardinals, so then he ended up going to the Texans. Now, the Texans decided to re-sign him. He hit the free agency market, and then he ended up signing with the Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, we pretty much all know, has won a Super Bowl at this point, so Tyrann Mathieu now currently has a Super Bowl ring. Good for him. I mean, a lot of people out there are wanted the Kansas City Chiefs to win, not only because it was the 49ers and obviously they were in our division, but because they still had that connection. They felt like they had that connection with Honey Badger, and to see a former Arizona Cardinal getting a Super Bowl ring hurt a little bit. It stung, I definitely agree, but it did feel good to basically get to have a player, an ex-former Arizona Cardinal, finally get that ring and get over the hump. There was a tweet that actually came out from the Honey Badger. He ended up tweeting to DJ Humphries, pretty much telling him, don't let them take it back. Now, he's referring to the contract. Now, once I heard the contract, as far as what DJ Humphries' contract was, it actually is a very good contract for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, as far as having a lot of leverage, a lot of backup plan for the Arizona Cardinals. So the Tyrann Mathieu ended up, felt like it was a good idea to say, hey, don't let them take it back. Now, to me, I feel like a couple different things with when I heard this situation. I definitely know that he has still some bitterness against the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, when he did that live stream on Instagram and pretty much telling fans that he's never going to come back here after what we did to him. Obviously, he's still bitter with the organization. Obviously, he doesn't like the front office and what he felt, was done to him. But I mean, I think at this point right now, I would have felt like with what he achieved so far, because he does have a pretty good contract over there and he has a Super Bowl ring, I would have felt like they would have hopefully let go of this vendetta and let go of this animosity that he has towards the Arizona Cardinals. Now, it's not just towards the Arizona Cardinals, it's also a kind of a spit to the face of the fans as well, how we embraced him, how we really did feel like he was going to be the face of the organization. To hear him tweet to his buddy that, don't let them take it back. Now, I know it probably really wasn't something that he thought too much about. He probably thought it was funny. I don't know really the context behind this tweet, but honestly, it did kind of feel like a slap in the face to every Arizona Cardinal fan out there. And honestly, I kind of felt pretty hurt myself as well. I did feel like it was more of an attack to the organization and a kind of slap to the face to the fans as well. I know it wasn't really directed to the fans. I get that completely, but at the end of the day, I felt like he could possibly be a little bit more, I don't want to say humbled, but a little bit more appreciative to a team that really believed in him to take him in the third round, to make him flourish. I mean, now I get it. Sometimes people just need that opportunity and they shine on their own. And I really do think that that's something that the Honey Badger has when he's on the field. He just has this charisma. He has this playmaker ability about him that he really gets drawn to the fans, and the fans really adapted to him, not just for the Cardinals, but for Kansas City. I mean, he is pretty much a name out there that everybody really recognizes. So to hear him say, don't let him take it back is definitely a little upsetting. Definitely a little upsetting. I felt like at this point, maybe let it go at this point. I mean, the Arizona Cardinal fans, a good amount of them still really want the best for you, really want you to succeed in the NFL from here on out. And we're happy that you're having, a non-injury career. Because when you were with us, you absolutely were hurt a lot, and I can see why the Arizona Cardinals did what they did. Now, they weren't gonna let him go; they were just trying to restructure the deal to make the team better, to make things better for the organization in the long run. Now, I did actually see a lot of tweets here right back at Tyrann Mathieu. Now, I'm pretty sure Tyrann Mathieu didn't read any of these. There were so many tweets that were out there that replied back to him that, with his stature and his status, I honestly do not think he's read anything. So I don't think he cares. But a lot of fans, most of them, the Arizona Cardinal fans, pretty much tweeted back to him and saying that he was classless. What a classless move that he actually done saying this when somebody gave him the opportunity, a team that gave him the opportunity to kind of shine and show his talents on a national level, and to kind of say something like that is kind of a slap to the face. He was getting called all sorts of names, whether it's classless, distasteful, like what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? Congratulations on your Super Bowl, but be more humble. All that sort of different stuff. So it's a really like a sticky situation, to be honest with you. I mean, he has all the right in the world to say what he wants to say. It's his Twitter. It's the free world. It's the United States of America. You could say whatever you want. But obviously, Arizona Cardinals kind of fans got in their feelings. It's definitely obvious. It's kind of upsetting. It's definitely upsetting because somebody that we taken in the third round, that possibly he might have not even been drafted. Tyrann Mathieu has been in trouble with the law, when he was in college a good amount of times. But people might not even thought he was draftable until one of the, obviously Steve Keim took a chance on Tyrann Mathieu, and he ended up blossoming into the player that he is currently right now. So I really do hope that he could take that to consideration next time he decides to kind of, tweet at an Arizona Cardinal player, because obviously he even said to David Johnson, come to Kansas City. So there's something there. There's definitely something there that he still has hard feelings about for the Arizona Cardinals. So that's what I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know. What do you guys think about this tweet? What do you guys think about the whole Ceedee Lamb situation? Let me know in the comments below, guys. If you have not already, please consider subscribing, and please provide this video with a like. That's all I got for this episode, guys. Thank you so much. I'm out.